my name is Kezia Vida. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm really excited to be back here today giving you some of my favorite dream work tips. Today we're going to be focusing on practical ways that you can learn to remember your dreams as soon as possible. I offer one-on-one dream work practice for people who are looking to really dive deep into their dream realm and figure out all of the wisdom and guidance and beauty and transformational power that is inside of your dreams for you. You can learn more about that by clicking below. I also have a journal, The Dreaming Eye, which is my guide to help you start your dream practice, go deeper with it, and really work with your dreams in a bunch of different ways. It's one of my top recommendations, basically, if you're trying to start your practice, and I'm going to link to that below as well. And finally, I do have a much longer course called How to Remember Your Dreams for a really low price up on my website, so if you really want to go in depth with this topic, I would invite you to check that out as well. So one of my very first tips, if you're trying to learn how to remember your dreams, and this might sound obvious, but you need to set the intention and you need to put energy towards it. I think you've probably heard the saying, where your attention goes, energy flows, and it's completely true. So wherever you are putting your attention on, it's going to get more energy, it's going to get more capacity to grow inside of you. So one of the most simple tips that I give people, and it works like more often than not, is just right before you go to sleep tonight, say to yourself, just as you're going to sleep, I want to remember my dream tonight. If you just say that to yourself, I've seen it work with people over and over. If you do that 3 nights in a row, I bet you're going to start to remember something. This is going to come up on my very second tip that's also very important. As you are starting to grow in your capacity to remember dreams, it's going to be very important that whatever you remember, you write it down. And I know, again, you've probably heard that before, but it is so crucial. If you do not write your dream down, or you can also record it by your voice into your phone, but if you don't, or type it into your phone if you prefer, however you want to do it, but getting it down on paper, getting it recorded is essential to growing your dream practice. And you're going to be amazed. When you're thinking about your dream, it's a very different thing than when you actually put words to it. And once you put words to it, whether you're speaking them or you're writing them down, the dream itself starts to expand. And, you know, a lot of times people get something out of just that practice in and of itself, going from thinking about the dream to actually putting it down into paper. So I really recommend you do that. And of course, again, the more you do that, the more your energy is going to be flowing towards that, and the more your dreams are going to respond. One place that I think people get tripped up in this is they seem to be thinking sometimes, because they haven't remembered the whole dream, or they're aware that there are parts of the dream that they can't quite recall, that they just say, oh, I don't remember, even though there are parts that they do remember. And I still have clients today, I talk to them every week, every other week. They call me, they say, I don't really remember, but... And then they start talking, and guess what? We have an hour-long conversation about the part that they did remember. And it was really juicy and had a lot of really interesting things about it, and it was really, really great. So you're listening a lot if you're saying to yourself, oh, I forgot a piece, that means I forgot the dream. No, that's not true. If whatever you remember is what you remember, and write that down, and the more you do that, the more your practice is going to grow. Another really important part of the whole thing about writing it down, and I know everybody's got different things going on in the morning, a morning routine, pressures from your family, things you got to do for work, right? There's a lot of things kind of vying for your attention when you wake up in the morning. And if you don't get the dream down right in that spot, it can be difficult to remember it later on. So there's one tip that I like to give people. If you don't have time to write down the whole thing, try to remember 2 to 3 nouns in the dream. And when I say nouns, I mean person, place, or thing. If you can get all 3 of those, that's really going to help. A verb in there is also going to be great. So you don't need to write down the whole thing, but just nail down some of those key words, right? Proper nouns or regular nouns, whichever one is like relevant for your dream. If you jot those down in the morning, and then later when you have more time during the day, you can write down the whole thing. That's going to help you jog your memory. So for example, maybe you remembered my brother, the forest that we grew up in, and yellow duck. Okay, so if you can just remember those 3 things, you write it down. I mean, when I hear those 3 things, I'm already thinking, I have some idea maybe about what happened in that dream. Of course, I just completely made that up. I have no idea. But you guys get the point. Basically, you don't have to remember or write down the whole entire thing right when you wake up. But if you can remember a few things and just take that extra second to jot it down, later on you can write it all down. And that's really, really helpful. Another thing, of course, is just to make sure it's really easy for you to write it down. So whatever you're going to be using, whether you're going to record it in your phone, whether you're going to type it in your phone, whether you're going to use a dream journal, make sure it's right by your bed. Maybe even write a little Post-it note or something that's going to remind you, hey, what did you dream? Hey, write it down. If you do that, I promise you, you're going to start remembering your dreams. Sometimes people really get in a headspace of feeling like there's no way I can remember my dream because they haven't remembered one in so long. But I think you really forget this is a very natural process, and it's something that every single human being does. And your dreams are not that far away from you. Okay, they're closer than you think, and they want to be in connection with you. They want to be in communication with you. This is a natural part of your human experience, and it's something that you can learn to be in a good relationship with through intention and through practice. Another thing that's really important, though, I think this is one of the biggest blocks people face basically in remembering their dreams. And of course, it's a big issue in our society and our culture today, which is having trouble sleeping, right? So if there are issues that you have around sleeping, whether you're taking drugs or alcohol, and I don't mean drugs in like a judgmental way, like people have to take all kinds of things sometimes to assist them in their sleep cycle. People, if you just are waking up all through the night, or maybe you have trouble falling asleep, insomnia, all these types of things can really get in the way of, first of all, your REM sleep at all. So maybe your REM sleep is being disturbed. You're not really going into the deep sleep cycles, and that may disturb your dreaming patterns. I know a lot of people have the experience if they're using marijuana before they go to sleep and then they stop smoking marijuana, all of a sudden they have all these dreams coming back to them, or their dream life gets really, pumped up and excited. And I think that is just kind of showing. Drinking is another example, and people get sober. Sometimes their dreams get way more intense than when they were, not using any drugs, or when they were using drugs. So all that's just to say, if you have this intention to remember your dreams, but you're also having trouble sleeping and you're probably already trying to work on that and doing things for that, I would just encourage you to really put your focus and intention on your sleeping patterns and your sleeping habits. That's going to be the place where you're going to want to work on things. And I think the more you work on that, your dreams are going to naturally fall in line. So don't, pull your hair out trying to remember dreams if you already have these other issues going on with your sleep. Really focus on that, getting a good night's rest, feeling rested in your life. That's very, very, very important. And it's just really great for your health in general. And not to say, I totally understand that struggle. I've had insomnia myself and many other issues with sleeping. So I know it's not an easy road. Don't want to make it sound easier than it is. But again, it could be why you're having trouble remembering your dreams in general. The last thing I'll say, if you're developing your practice with your dreams and trying really hard to remember them, is to really get in touch with your reason for doing that. And I say this because I think sometimes people's motivation for getting in touch with their dreams can actually get in the way of them remembering their dreams more vividly. What do I mean? Well, if you have an intention around remembering your dreams that's focused on a particular type of dream that you want to have, the content that you're looking for, the things that you want your dream to show you or prove to you or something like that, that can be a little bit damaging sometimes to the relationship that you're trying to build with your dreams. Just like when you have a relationship with a person and you have a lot of expectations about how you want them to act or what you want them to say or how you want them to make you feel. Sometimes it doesn't really leave room for the relationship to grow and blossom the way that it wants to. It's a similar thing with your dreams, like your dreams actually come from a place that's beyond your conscious mind and beyond your willpower, your ideas, or your stories about who you are, what you should become, what's important to you, all of those things. And so when you're opening up to yourself to that channel, you're actually opening yourself up to a very mysterious force that can, be disturbing or be enlightening or be revelatory in a lot of different ways that maybe you didn't expect. So having a motivation that isn't grounded in an expectation, but instead is grounded in an invitation, in a desire to explore, in a place that's really heart-opening and desiring to, grow and change with this relationship that you are developing and growing. That is a powerful, powerful intention that you can put into it, and something that can keep you going even when you come across dreams or maybe start remembering things that you didn't necessarily want to, or are kind of disturbing, or, all the different things that dreams can bring up for us. So that's my last tip. I hope these were really helpful for you. Again, I invite you to check out my journal, The Dreaming Eye, which is available on Amazon, and you can click the link below and check it out. It's got basically 3 different areas, so you can start with just recording the dream and really go deeper and deeper as you develop your personal dream practice. And again, I do work with people one-on-one, so if you have a dream that's really been bothering you or not sure what it means, please reach out. I'd love to connect with you, and you can learn more about that on my website below. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit subscribe for more information about your dreams and how you can develop a deep and transformative dream practice that can truly change your life. I'm so glad to be here with you, and I hope you have a